Hey everybody, Carlo here with Forge Glory Custom Leathercraft, and I wanted to do a video. I'm making a bedroll for one of my patrons, and so while I was making it, thought I'd do a video, a video of making it. So this is this is going to be the front of the bedroll. It's a Generation 2, and they want it all black with no art. Here are the straps. I already have the other two straps done, but I was saving these to do on the video, so you can see how I do them. And then here are the back brackets that all the straps connect to be able to keep it on the bike. Some people like the back brackets. And some people want to be able to just go ahead and directly connect it to the bike with the straps and take these back brackets off. So you can do it however you want, but I'll make it with the back brackets and the small straps so that you can strap it to the bike. You can take those off and just use the long strap and strap it directly to your bike however you want. So as you see, I don't use any machines in my shop. I get the leather in as a full hide, and then I cut the individual pieces out, and I draw on them the patterns that they need to be, and everything is done with hand tools, where, you know, I like the traditional old way of doing things. The new way would be that I would have a die and what's called a clicker press, and I'd put the leather on the machine, put the die on top of it, put it underneath the press. It presses down, it cuts the leather to the shape and everything. I mean, that's cool, you know. But my shop's all about handmade and making it the way that you want it made. So things do take a while. When I first started my website, I was actually backed up, I think about 9 months. And so that little banner at the top of my website, it has always been there. And it's always said what the current lead time is. I was backed up 9 months. And then after about a year, I was able to bring it down to 6 months. And pretty much that was because I quit my day job. I was working for Pepsi, which is a wonderful company to work for. Can't complain about working for them. I loved it, enjoyed my time with them. My disabilities got the better of me, and I could no longer do the job. And luckily, I was doing leather work on the side, and so now I'm doing leather work full time. And so that automatic, you know, quitting my day job made it go down from 9 months down to about 6 months. And I was able to get it down to 3 months, and business has been so busy and so crazy that now my wife is actually working with me, and we still can't get it below 3 months. I get to the point where I have all these orders going out and everything is great, and I'm thinking, yes, we're going to get it below the 3 months, and then boom, I get hit with a whole bunch of other orders, and we got to keep it at the 3 month. You know, we got to keep it at the approximate 3 month mark. Now, it is approximate. I mean, some things go out a lot sooner. A lot of you will testify to that things will go out a lot sooner sometimes, and sometimes they go out a little bit later, but that's kind of rare. But we definitely love the support and appreciate the support. You know, it's just me and my wife doing all of this. And then we get, you know, whenever my kids want a little bit of money, they'll be like, hey, can I help? So that's how they earn their money. One of my daughters owes me a lot of work. She's got a lot of things and said, I'll help. But yeah, we're literally a mom and pop shop and have our kids helping us out. And everything is done by hand, so it does take longer, but you get that unique quality where it looks like it was done by hand. And I think it looks more beautiful than everything looking the same. And you bought something that looks exactly like 10 million other people who bought the exact same thing. And so because of that lead time, I'll have people say, oh, well, I'll just wait till your lead time goes down. And I'm like, it doesn't go down. It usually picks up around the end of the year when everybody, my regular customers who like to order from me at least once or twice a year, they start ordering their Christmas presents in September so that they'll be ready by December. So just remember that when you're ordering from me, it has always been at the top of the page of my website. The current lead time that we have. That's not the right one. I think I got the wrong. Yep. I was about to punch some really big holes into that, and that's not the right one. I got to get the right hole punch. But yeah, it's always been at the top of the website since its inception. What our current lead time is, in which right now it's about 3 months. There's one order that is older than 3 months, and that's because the person is supposed to send me something to make it, and he hasn't sent it to me yet. He sent me several messages saying, I have it in my truck and I'm going to send it to you, and he never sent it. So that's not my fault. When you're sending me something that what it is, he wants a wallet made, and the liner of the wallet he wants made with one of his Dixon flannels. And so he's got to send me the flannel before I can make the wallet, and he hasn't sent it to me, and it's actually almost been about a year. And I contact him every now and then, hey, you gonna send the flannel? It's like, yeah, I got it right here, and he hasn't done it. So, and we joke about it. He jokes with me about it. We joke about it. Another order that's going later than 3 months is a person that wanted some very custom things that I don't carry in my shop. And so it took 3 months from the time so the custom items that he wanted some certain conchos that he wanted on the leather. And as you guys look through my website, I don't usually do conchos, so I had to order all these conchos, and it took 3 months for the person who made them to make them and ship them to me. And so that one's going longer than 3 months. But then again, that's a custom order, so that should be expected because I had to get pieces from other makers and whatnot. This the current order that my wife is working on is right at the 3 month mark. I was at the 3 month mark of this week, and she's working on it. It's a heat shield for an Indian Scout with a pouch, and the shield is supposed to be black, and the pouch is Indian tan, which is probably one of my favorite color schemes. I like the black and tan. I like the mixture of colors. So remember, whenever you get something, you can get it made however you want. Like, what you see on the website is not limited to the website. What you see me post here, the items that I post here, it's not limited to what I post on my social media accounts. Send us an idea of the colors that you want, and if we know how to do it, we'll do it for you. Even if we don't know how to do it, we'll try to figure it out. I've done that a couple times. And if it gets to the point to where I'm like, nope, I can't figure that out, so I'm just going to return your money. Sorry. That's happened once. And actually, so this is, I'll tell you guys a couple of stories. Somebody posted in a Facebook group a helmet that was covered in leather, and they're like, hey, does anybody, the person who made this is not making motorcycle stuff anymore, does anybody know somebody who can do this? So I chimed in and I was like, I could do it. I actually had no idea if I could. And you know, in a private message I said, you know, this will be the first one that I make. I have no idea if I can actually make this, but let's give it a try, and if not, I'll return your money. And he was like, okay, I'll take a chance on you. So he sent me the money to do it. I made one for myself first, and I totally messed it up, but I learned how not to do it, which means I learned how to do it. So the second one I made came out awesome. It looked great. He was very happy with it. I got to keep the money. And then there was another one where it was actually an army buddy of mine. He commissioned me to make some, you know, the holsters with the suspenders. So then the gun holster will sit under your arm. And I made it, and I thought it was crap, and I made it again, and I thought it was crap, and I researched it, I did some more, and I'm sorry, I'm just not good at making those, because to me, it was very uncomfortable to wear. So I told my buddies, like, hey, I got to return your money, I'm not going to be able to make this, you know, whatever. And he was like, okay. And then I read later that those holsters are always uncomfortable no matter how you make them. And so it's just something that you have to deal with those holsters. I don't know, I've never worn one. I mean, I was in the army, but I never, you know, I never wore one of those. You know, it's not my style of carry, or it wasn't my style of carry, so I never wore one. So I didn't know that everybody thinks they're uncomfortable and you just put up with it being uncomfortable. But yeah, so I returned his money because I couldn't make it comfortable. I didn't want to sell something that wasn't comfortable. My mistake, I guess. But whenever it's something that, you know, if I get defeated, I will return your money. If I'm like, nope, I can't make this, sorry. But like I said, in 7 years, it's only happened once. And then you have items like saddlebags where, oh gosh, saddlebags are so labor intensive. They're really hard to make. So I might do a set of saddlebags, maybe one a year. And it's one of those things where I don't like making them. I love how they look. I love the way, you know, once they're done, I'm like, wow, that is awesome. I really like how it looks. But the process of making them, I don't like. And so I won't make them for a long time. And then I forget about how arduous the task is. And then somebody will ask for them. I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll make one for you. But it's not, you know, it's not a usual thing that I make. So this thing, a lot of people, they have these rollers where you can do an edge treatment with rollers. And so a lot of people were like, oh, I thought you used a roller on that to get this edge treatment. I'm like, no, everything's done by hand. No machine. Is just, it's all, dang it, come on now. It's all stamps. It's all done by hand, all tooled. My wonderful maul that I have. And this is how it's done. Everything in my shop. I don't have a sewing machine. I don't have a clicker press. I don't have a machine where you can pass this stuff through and it you know, cuts everything and puts all the designs on it. Everything is hand dyed. I use, you know, you can see here, I use paint brushes to put all the dye on, daubers. I don't have a vat of dye that I lower things into or anything like that. It's all applied by hand. And it gives it that, you know, it gives it a handmade quality to it, which a lot of people love. And if that's not what you love, then don't buy it from me. Get it from somebody else. And so since every piece of art is applied by hand, every piece of art is going to have minor subtle differences. I don't care how good of a painter you are, you cannot recreate the same painting using paintbrushes over and over again. You would have to get a computer. You know, you have to get a computer and a laser printer and all of that to make something look exactly alike. And I don't use laser printers. I don't use a plotter. No machines or anything. And so when you get it, you know, the brush strokes will look different. You know, something might be an eighth of an inch bigger than what it looks like in the other one. I once had somebody complain that they got a heat shield with a Native American art on both sides, and the mouth on one side was an eighth of an inch longer than the other side, so it didn't match up perfectly and they didn't like it. And I'm like, yeah, it was done by hand. There's absolutely no way that I can make both sides look exactly the same. And, you know, so that's, you know, that's something that you have to consider. Are you willing to have it look you know, slightly different? If an eighth of an inch on the mouth of a drawing really matters to you, I'm not the guy to go with. Because there will be inconsistencies between one person's art, you know, one side to the other, and stuff like that, because, you know, and that adds to the uniqueness and the character of the items that I make. Now, if I was using a clicker and a stamp, then yeah, I can make them all look the same. And then if I was putting it through a machine that applied the dyes, kind of like a, you know, the way that makes like silk screening a t-shirt or something like that, then yeah, I could make them all look exactly the same. But it loses a certain handmade quality to it that's not what my shop's about. You know, the shop is about real old school handmade items, everything done by hand, so you get that quality to it, you know, that handmade looking quality to it, which is what I love and a lot of other people love. If you're looking for a consistent product, then you need to go with somebody who has all the machines to make it. And, you know, they do beautiful stuff, and I'm not saying that, you know, my stuff is superior or their stuff is superior. It's about what you like. You know, do you like the handmade look to it, or do you like the industrialized look that looks like everybody else's? Either way is fine. It's your choice. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of stuff that, you know, made by big corporations that I like the look of it and it looks like everybody else's, and I'm okay with that. So but in the end, I do love my job. I greatly appreciate every single one of you who have ordered from me. Over the, I think we're almost getting to 8 years that we've been in business. Greatly appreciate all of my patrons who, especially my gosh, those people who have been with me from the beginning, and they order like 1 or 2 things from a year, and you know, I have good relationships with these people because, you know, I'm making, you know, those custom bike guys, man. When I get my leather on those custom bikes, you know, and you know, I like custom bikes. You know, I like, oh, this is different. Oh, they made this by hand. You know, I like that kind of stuff. That's why I'm part of the part of that part of the industry. Oh, man, I have to say my favorite thing is getting pictures from all of you so I can, you know, see my products in use. That is kind of like the highlight of my day, because I have to admit, there's a little bit of when I send something out, there's a little bit of feeling of, man, I really hope they like this. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, I really like this, but I really hope that I captured what they wanted, their image of how they want their bike to look. And I really hope I captured this correctly for them. And, you know, so when I get those pictures back and they're like, I love it, this looks great on my bike, I'm like, okay, good. That's a good morale boost for me. To see people enjoy the stuff that I made for them. So I hope that through this video you were able to see how things are made in my shop. Get a good explanation of, you know, why things take so long. You know, and I don't hide it. It's, you know, it's at the top of my website that I'm backed up 3 months, and I've always had that banner there since I made the website to show what the current lead time is. And you know, I'm so grateful for all of you who are willing to have the patience for me to hand make these items for you. Common thing said about my shop by a lot of my patrons is, man, it took a long time, but it's worth the wait. And I'm so glad that they feel that way, you know, that, you know, I was able to impress them with my art, with my skills, that they felt like it was worth the wait. I mean, there's always going to be somebody who, you know, doesn't care about the artistry and the skills, and so the wait's not worth to them. So yeah, they need to go with a different shop. Man, those who love the artistry, who love to see it, love to own a piece of it, thank you all for purchasing from me. My family and I, we greatly appreciate it. We thank you all very much for keeping us busy and making it so I don't have to go 100% on disability. And you know, keeping me working, because I did have to quit Pepsi because my disabilities got the best of me and I couldn't do the job anymore, and I didn't feel like that was fair to Pepsi. But I love my job, I love what I do, and I thank you all again. So remember, here at Forge Glory, we're all about the leather, your design, and my shop coming together to make some awesome products. And while you're out there in the world, riding your motorcycles with my products on your bike, remember, if you find someone in need, help someone in need. You know, we live in a weird age right now, and you know, I just think if everybody just stopped and thought about somebody else, and you see somebody in need and you help them, those small acts of kindness will make the world a better place. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time.